Why aren't trucks selling? I mean, look at this whole lot. We have a whole ton of F-150s here, and we have a lot more F-150s parked along this row here. We already know trucks like the F-150 Lightning right here aren't selling at all. People don't want them. And when they're especially priced at $95,000, definitely nobody's buying those types of vehicles. As we approach $100,000, that's too much money in today's day and age with the cost of living crisis. Well, here's a pretty little truck over here. How much is this little unit? Well, it has a beautiful new revised grille. Look at this. I love the new decal here by Ford, the black and white. That's a pretty unit. Look at the headlights, quite nice. But I think all these extras are gonna cost money. Yeah, it's revised. They have new style lights there, of course, different handles. I noticed the truck has leather interior. It's a gorgeous unit all the way around. This is an FX4 off-road. Again, more great decals, nice details here. And how much is this unit? Well, according to the sticker, $105,000, 450 right there. Wow, holy, what is this? Well, we're looking at an F-150 Platinum. Platinum gold. It's definitely worth that in its weight. There's some more pretty Fords down here. Oh, what do we have? Looks like maybe a Raptor right here. Oh, what a beautiful truck. Look, Ford in all of its glory. Beautiful, nice truck. It's pretty, but how much is this really worth? I mean, to you and I. Definitely we have these nice grills. Of course, there we have a Raptor. We say it's beautiful, has the flares on it. I'm definitely liking the truck. Definitely has some nice touches. This does come with the EcoBoost engine in it as well. Tow hooks, big exhaust tips, beautiful. Nice touches there. And how much is a Raptor? Brand new, how much? Any guesses? Well, right here. $111,000 right there, 110,700. Now I've literally seen it all. A half-ton Ford pickup truck for $111,000. What's going on? Why aren't people buying these trucks? Well, once we were in the heart of the shortages, we know back in 2021, there was only about 1.78 million units available. Yes, about 35 days supply. And the average trading value on a new car supply was approximately $40,566. Things have changed. Then in 22, things changed. Interest rates start to rise, but then inventory started hitting the lots again. And meanwhile, while Ford is down sales $500 million in the first quarter, the only thing that brought them out of the woodwork was the commercial vehicle sector, which was up. And as their full-size pickup trucks, their F-150s were down on overall sales, 7% to be exact, and 42% of their sales on the hybrid vehicles like the Maverick are literally the only vehicles that kept them out of hot water. Now, while car lots and truck lots are full on GMCs and Chevys, they had a great first quarter, outpacing Ford for full-size sales. But year over year, both manufacturers have been losing sales to some competition, to smaller vehicles, to vehicles that were more cost effective. People were trading in their 1500 Sierras or their Ford F-150s for smaller vehicles like Toyota Priuses, Toyota Camrys, as an example. So vehicles filling up the lot like this, many more pickup trucks like this, and as well, right over here, there's trucks, and more trucks. I mean, car lots are just overflowing so much, these pickup trucks can't be sold. Chevy, GM, as we see, they're even extending their parking lot out into the farmer's field right here. As you can see, they're having to park vehicles out on the grassy area because they don't even have enough parking space, and they've even had to expand across the road to get more parking for some of their new vehicles. So not only is the cost of living crisis real, and the fact that people can't afford $100,000 trucks, repossessions are on the rise. I mean, there's no shortage of repos. We even have a fairly new vehicle, GMC Sierra AT4, repossession. Vehicles like this. We have this long tank here, also repossessed. You could tell this one's been rode hard, put away wet, driven through the bush, dirty and muddy. Here's another repossession. This is classic example of the people generally, unfortunately, get themselves in a predicament, end up doing things like this, and this is an example of one of those vehicles. Here's another repo. Looks like they did a great joyride before they had to give it away. Another repossession here. Look, it's half missing. Here's another one. No shortages of repossessions because people can't make their payments on these expensive trucks. So and then in 2022, overall automotive inventory went up to numbers of about 1.32 million units available and approximately 43 days supply. The transaction prices were starting to rise. All of a sudden it went up to $46,000 and change. And a lot of the increase in prices were the fact that a lot of these OEMs weren't selling baseline base trim vehicles anymore. They were more inclined to sell vehicles like this. As you notice, we have a full-size pickup truck, GMC 6.2 liter V8, but it's a Denali. And everybody knows Denalis, they're the top of the litter, king of the hill. those are the most expensive trucks, and those are the ones that they were making available in the lot. So naturally, you could no longer get yourself a cheap truck. You had to step into the next line. And it was this attempt for manufacturers to slowly creep up prices, simulate that there was shortages. But as we saw from 21 to 22, there was a rise in available inventory. Chips started to come online, and we start to see more new vehicles. It got to the point where they slowly edged prices bit by bit by bit by bit. And then they give you vehicles like this, no longer are a $30,000 vehicle like they should be, but instead priced on this vehicle of about 45 grand, $45,000 for a small little SUV, SLT trim of this GMC, and it's clearly a Terrain. So clearly out the door price, by the time you throw on the extras, floor mats, tax, and out the door, you're paying well over 50 grand for one of these vehicles. These are small, almost like the Jeep Compass. Clearly not worth it, probably worth about 20 grand less. And then talking about overall car sales, 2023 we saw a further increase in the amount of inventory, 1.98 million units, and then in 24 it rose again to 2.77 million units available on the lots. While days supply continued to rise, 56 days in 23 up to 72 days supply here in 2024. And even the average listing price crept up to yet even further heights here in 2024, indicating the higher priced vehicles are influencing the overall transaction costs. But while I'd love to have a vehicle like this, we have a full-size SUV right here. This is clearly a Denali, so we know this is loaded up. It's got all the big wheels and the bling and the latest technology. Gorgeous unit all the way around. I definitely love the style of this. Love the wheels. Definitely love the Hurst-like handles and the stepping boards. This is a gorgeous unit, and it's a Denali. How much is this little unit? We look on the tag here, and we're looking at, $113,919. 114 grand for a full-size SUV. And so while month over month, GM's had a great first quarter of 2024, but as we've reflected back, when you look year over year, truck sales, full-size truck sales are down. People are losing the appetite for spending this kind of money. And sadly, if the last 4 years have taught us anything, it's that the manufacturers continue to rise the prices on every one of these vehicles, clearly blaming it on supply chain challenges, blaming it on carbon taxes, blaming it on emissions, cost of doing business. A lot of it is honestly just bloat. And while there are some manufacturers, Toyota's promising to come out with a great new basic pickup truck for $12,000. Chevy's almost rumored to bring out something that's in that $8,000 to $12,000 to $15,000 range as well. And we know already the Maverick, the hybrid, is one of their best-selling trucks and is clearly dishing Ford out of the hole. But what has GM got up their sleeve? So GM has to come up with something a little bit more cost-effective. Well, if you want a mid-size pickup truck, they have a lot of great selections. But look at what we've got here. This is pretty much what GM's got. Their full size. It's got the Duramax with the Allison transmission, 6.6 liter turbo diesel here. Obviously with the Denali right here, HD, that means you're getting sunroof, leather, the whole 9 yards. This is the full meal deal. This is the Big Daddy King Pop here. Of course, we have the dual rear wheels here. And this literally will have every option known to Chevy's mankind. Pretty interesting bold grille on these vehicles. I like the style. As you can see, HD right here. I definitely like these intricate headlights. And naturally, there we are, these big bold mirrors. Beautiful. But there's the sticker on it, Sierra Denali 4-wheel drive crew cab. And there's a pile of options here. So it's fairly well loaded. Oh, $120,000. I mean, like, really, I love that truck. I'd sure love to have one around. I love driving diesel trucks. I like the way they feel. I love their power band. And any one of these full-size trucks would be a nice upgrade from my old 2003 Ram. But until I find prices that are a little bit more palatable, possibly waiting for interest rates to drop a little bit more, and we've been hearing about that all year, but customers aren't getting the interest rates that they need. We're holding steady. The banks, the reserves, Canada, US are saying we're constantly this next week, next month, next quarter, we're going to revisit this. We're going to guarantee drop rates soon, but we're not seeing it. It's not happening. Inflation's holding steady. People are still buying expensive cars and houses, as well as we're seeing food costs rising. Everything is going up. So does inflation continue to rise or at least stabilize? And as long as inflation is holding steady, interest charges aren't getting dropped anytime soon. The other trigger, of course, is unemployment rates. US, they've seen some significant gains and wins in employment rates. And even Canada, while they're down a little bit or a higher level of unemployment, it's definitely not enough to trigger a drop in interest rates anytime soon. So for a buyer to walk into the dealership, look at a gorgeous new GMC like this with this gorgeous top here. This is an Ultimate, as you'll notice, Duramax, Allison transmission, single rear axle, beautiful truck, absolutely amazing. But walk into the dealership and drop down your money for a $110,000 truck and then crunch the math on it, how much your monthly payments are going to be on a truck like this. Yes, $100,000, even if you put 10% down, you're still going to be stuck paying $1,500 or more a month of payments for that new truck. And that's maybe in a 5 or 6 year time frame. And Ram's got their share of beautiful pickup trucks. Some of these range from $60,000, $65,000, $70,000, $75,000. Here we have this beautiful Ram. It's a Rebel. It has all the great pipes. Look, nicely painted like that, detail. Very nice truck. You got the all-terrain rubber on here. Not an inexpensive pickup truck by any means. Here we also have the sunroof up top, but things get better because we look, there's no shortages of trucks, and these lots are literally overflowing to the brim because they're not selling, right? There's an example of a $100,000 Dodge Ram or Ram pickup truck. This one's a Sport. Look, even the logo's on crooked. Look at that. It kind of goes up. Definitely the quality control is a factor here. And yeah, this has some aftermarket wheels on it. It's a beautiful looking rig. This one here has no sunroof, but it has leather interior in there. And this is the 1500 Hemi E-Torque Ram, big boots, good looking truck. But it comes at a price, $110,000 for a rig like this. But what is the basic, cheapest truck that Ram will actually give you? And this will sort of give you your baseline because all pickup trucks are highly priced these days. And looking online here, I literally found the cheapest pickup truck that they have on the lot. It's even marked down. It's a 2023, and here it is. It's a Ram, and clearly as basic gets. This, let me give you a quick demo and explain how much this is actually marked down. Here we have a long box, not a particularly good looking truck. This one here is the Ram 1500 Classic. We got steel wheels on there, plastic front bumpers, plastic front grille, and it's very basic, which is what a lot of people that's all they want, just to do basic work. You have a basic mirror, and of course plastic handles, plastic top on there. Of course, at least they give you this, but I look under here and I'm not lying. It looks like, it feels like it needs a little trim. There's some ridge under there and it looks like it needs a molding or something. But we circle around to the back, basic plastic. Hey, you have the big horns there. Well, if you want basic, this is going to be basic for you, because even inside, it has a very basic layout. You've got plastic seats, plastic floors, and basically you don't have the big infotainment system. This is a very, very basic pickup truck all the way around. And so what does this unit go for? With the base engine V6, this actually has crank windows, plastic everything, as minimalist as you can possibly get. It was originally a 2023 marked at $50,000. Yes, it's now marked at 38 grand. $38,000 you can get into this. Now, well, that sounds like a lot of money on the US side of the border. Canadian side of the border, 38 grand, you get in there, you wheel, you deal, maybe you get a few bucks off, maybe $35,000 plus out the door costs and GST, you're back up to 40 grand. That's basically what it's going to cost you to get the most cheapest basic pickup truck that Ram has to offer. So while there are some cheap trucks like that around, the good majority of pickup trucks now that they supply on the lot are going to cost you at least $70,000 or $80,000, and 100 grand is easy to find all day, every day. Sadly, I never thought the day would come where I saw a $100,000 half ton or $120,000, $30,000 diesel truck, but here we are. Cost of living crisis is real, inflation is real, housing costs are real, food costs that have gone through the roof are real, and sadly expensive trucks are real too. Definitely want to check out that cost of living crisis. What's going on? You're definitely going to want to check that out. Hope to see each and every one in the next one. See you real soon. Bye-bye.